Welcome or welcome back to another video on this channel. I talk about difficult conversations, tough talks that people aren't really talking about from a truth perspective, from a biblical perspective. If that sounds like something that you're interested in, feel free to like, share, and subscribe if you feel like more eyeballs and ears should be talking about especially these topics, okay? So I ran across this video. My Jamaican peeps, listen up. Is this for real? So a lot's been going on in the Trump administration. People are mixed opinion on what Trump is doing and X, Y, and Z. But the straight facts of the matter is Trump is play all for the same team. Okay, they all play for the same team, which is Satan. It's going to sound religious because they've done an excellent job in conditioning people's minds to think whenever you talk about Satan or the battle between good and evil, the reality that you are created, you have been created. You didn't create yourself when you were a babbling baby. You didn't even know that you even existed. You didn't know your mother, your father didn't even know you existed. They think that you're being religious when you say that they're creator, even though science itself, the same thing that they use, that they research, they're trying to research what God created, also came to the conclusion that yes, there is a creator, no duh. But anyway, that's a whole nother topic. But this is about a Jamaican woman. So if you are Jamaican, I'm from Jamaican heritage. I feel like any nationality that is not considered American, Babylonian, whatever you want to say, it should be listening to this, because me, my sister, and them, we were joking about, thing, they're going to be deporting everybody, even the people, because that's when I heard about them saying they're trying to deport people that were actually born here, that were.
And I heard that there was a bill passed, but I don't know. I can't really. I try to look it up and I can't locate that. But for overall, they could do anything they want to do. So just be mindful. And they're already trying to get rid of the First Amendment, so I wouldn't be surprised if they're trying to go after the 14th Amendment.
In my opinion, that's like a free plane ticket out of here. But that's a whole nother thing, honestly. But just hear what this woman has to say. And she's wearing a U.S. military outfit on, meaning she's serving for these people. She's serving for their army. So let's hear what she has to say.
It's purely informational and not affiliated with any political party, nor the United States military and our government. No, I'm speaking just to my Jamaican peeps, the peeps who have been naturalized and are US citizens now, the peeps where have your green card and you feel like you're safe. Let me tell you something. I came to get a new driver's license because I'm retiring soon. Not soon enough though. And I have to get something called a real ID. So I'm gonna bring everything in. This is my third time here, dirty DMV. And bring everything in. Every time it's more paperwork to prove who I am. I brought in passport, driver's license, orders, citizenship paperwork, everything. Still can't verify who I am. No, today. Here's where I'm at. They've taken my driver's license. They've taken my passport. They said they have to send it off to a higher entity to verify my identity. I'm a 20-year veteran. I've had 5 diplomatic U.S. passports. I've had 3 regular U.S. passports. I have lived in this country for 25 years. And again, I'm in uniform. And you're treating me like I'm an illegal alien trying to use false paperwork to get a real ID. Listen, if you're Jamaican and you watch this, make sure you have all of your paperwork. I mean, from your filing paperwork, certificate, everything. Because these people are not playing. You watch the news, you hear, but to actually experience it, we're not safe. If you're going to travel out of this country or even in this country, make sure you have a file with a copy of everything. Because they want to send them the whole away. Okay, and again, this is just my opinion. This is information. Take it if you want. If it don't apply to you, all right, cool. But it's purely informational.
So, okay, what this woman is saying, all right, there's a couple things that she said that I just want to touch on real quick, just to let y'all know the validity of the situation. Okay, that she's still not even peeping, even though she's seeing what's going on right now. Okay, they are letting us know, everybody that's not here, whatever, which is a complete sign of disrespect, given that the people that were, because it's either you were sent to America to be a slave, or all over the world. If you go to Deuteronomy 28, it lets you know we were going to be scattered across the earth. Okay. We're going to be scattered across the earth, and people in all the nations are just going to hate us. Okay. That's just what it is. So either you went to America, there was the West Indies, stuff like that. So these are all places where our ancestors toiled, bled, cried, screamed in agony, torturing, unexplainable, undescribable, despicable, plain, and wretched loathingness for 400 years. Built up these countries, okay? America's soil is drenched in blood. Our blood, okay? Our people's blood, our ancestors' blood is drenched with our ancestors' tears, our ancestors' sweats. Jamaica, all of these different countries that were built up, but specifically America was like rough. Specific, I'm talking about step of stairs. That just, this image just came to my mind. If you want to think of a stairs, the stairs in your house, the steps to go up to your house, if you can imagine, like, I gotta try to see if I find this picture. Maybe it's a picture of, and if that the white man, they used them as steps. They were stepping on their back. If you would think of a stepping stone, if you would think of somebody in a relationship and you're being used as a stepping stone, somebody essentially just stepping on your head or stepping on your back and climbing up, using you to get to the next level. That is what our ancestors were to these people. And I'm talking about the ones that are racist. I'm not, if you're not, that's not you. The shoe don't fit, don't wear it, right? But that is the facts of the situation that happened. So she's saying, oh, make sure you travel around with your paperwork, make sure you're good. They're not playing. No, we playing. That's the issue that's going on here, is that we playing. Okay, if this isn't a red flag, if this isn't a sign, if this isn't something where you understand that we should be building our own infrastructures, we should be building our own communities, we should be investing in our own places where people that look like us. I'm not saying I'm not prejudiced. I have a white family, my neighbors, love them. Okay, they're, whenever they're around, whenever they come over, I watch them, feed them, love them. White, as white as you can be. Okay, I'm a person who if you're a person and you treat me with respect and you show me love and you show me kindness, I'm going to return the favor. Okay, that's not what this is about. This is about the powers that be, the wickedness, the loathing, despicable grime that hates us, that is putting it on full display, that has been putting it on full display, but we were asleep. Now we are awake. We're waking up. Everybody's at different levels of that. But now that we are awake, what are we doing about it? And I'm not talking about violence. I'm not talking about none of that. Vengeance is the Lord's. But what I'm talking about here is what the Lord has put on me is why aren't we taking this and saying, you know, let's invest in what we have going on? Because if you look, they hate it. You'll hear, you know, your president talk about, oh, you know, and I have to be very, very careful and touchy on this topic. Okay. I'm not affiliated with any political anything. All right. And I'm using my First Amendment right just to put that in the clear, because that's why it's being attacked. But when, thank you, Holy Spirit. But when he says, okay, if you don't like it here, and everybody look at it as gimmick and funny, if you don't like it here, you could leave. It's very disrespectful, because the same people that hated us, that enslaved us, that made whatever the case is, put it together a system, created a race system, and then also created an environment that was harder for us to even create any type of stability, any type of wealth. And people will say, oh, stop blaming, oh, stop, don't that. They don't want you to touch on those things, because there's a situation called and it's a book, I need to read it. It's called Environmental Racism. I have not read it yet, but I want to read that book because it goes over the places that we were born in. For example, lead paint. Lead paint was used primarily in lower income neighborhoods. Lead paint has already been shown in so many different studies to lower IQ, affect developmental health, all type of different things not conducive to the things that God created us for the things that God has implanted and gifted in us, especially our people, right? So if you're already put at a disadvantage, and then you get into a system that is algorithmically created to keep our people down, to say if you don't like it, then get out, and people can't even afford to pay their rent, let alone a plane ticket. Do you understand the level of disrespect that is? They're not saying, okay, reparations. Go, you want to go back? We'll pay for the plane ticket. Here's the reparations. All right. Where's my suitcases at? Like, you know what I'm saying? The level of disrespect is wild. But I'm happy that this young woman, and shout out to her. She about to retire 20 years, especially in the army where they brainwash you and it's a very stressful, high stress environment, and her melanin is still popping, looking gorgeous. Shout out to her on that. And even the comments, well, in their defense, 20 years is in the military. Where, baby girl, you look 20. It's your age. Them, I verify. I joke me, I make. Yo, but yeah, nah, for real, she look young. But that's besides the point. Even if you're born in the US, if you're not white, you're not safe. That's not what I'm saying at all. All right. But I mean, listen, this is not what I'm really saying or I was really touching on. I don't know the exact reason why. I wouldn't be surprised if it had something to do with the color of her skin or where she is from or the paperwork, whatever. But that's not what I was really talking about. Heard about this happening to another Jamaican and Trini lady in Miami. Be careful, folk. Okay, so what we really need to be talking about, instead of being careful, instead of tiptoeing, oh, we got to tiptoe and baby toe in their system because we want to stay here. No, what we need to be doing is going home. Okay, I'm not trying to say live off of fear. I'm not trying to say leave them. Like, listen, everybody's called to different things, different places. You might just stay here. You might just be supposed to stay here. Whatever. Okay. Like, at the end of the day, who am I? I'm just saying my opinion on this topic. Okay. And based off the situation, God does want us to get out of her cities, okay, to get out of the degradation that is, because things are going to be in a situation where if you don't get this mark that they're trying to push out, which is the mark of the beast, then they're going to make it so that you can't get groceries, make it so that you can't, seek medical attention if there's an emergency or what. Who knows how only God knows, but how deep that this could go. And it's going to go really deep. All right, until Jesus come back. And I'm just saying to just be prepared. I'm just saying to just have that establishment that have established some place where you can be, able to grow your own food, where you could be able to be healthier, where you could be able to breathe better. I've noticed I've been congested, having the respiratory illnesses more, and I haven't really been a person to get them that often. And now it's just so interesting that this is happening. So I'm saying, like, just seek the Most High. Create that relationship with the Most High. Just be mindful. Just be mindful out here. Be mindful out here. Instead of just tiptoeing, how about you? Because that's the thing about a lot of Jamaicans is they have this thing where they want to come to America so bad. And then I'm just over here wondering, like, why? Why? And it's crazy because the people always think the grass is greener when in reality, Jamaica the land, and this is just not just Jamaica, this is just an example. All these different cultures, all these different land, y'all have a lot of y'all have oil rich land that's just waiting to get pregnant, just waiting to grow. Okay. And it's like y'all just wanting to leave to go work somebody's job and work somebody's dream instead of working on your own thing. But that's a whole nother topic, okay? And then this lady need to come out with a skincare routine, a diet routine, all of that. She would definitely make money off of that. I don't know if she ever gonna watch this, but because God has brought it to my attention to start focusing on my health. It could be a lot and all that, trying to clear it up, all that. You know what I'm saying? You know, looking good is of the Most High, okay? But with all that being said, if you do enjoy content like this, feel free to share, like, if you feel like more eyeballs and ears should be hearing about this. What do you think? I do have a book out, Melanated and Expecting. No, you do not have to be melanated to purchase the book, but it is a fact that when a Black woman walks into a hospital versus anybody else, that her mortality rate is much, much higher than that of any other nationality. Now, this book is not going to be a book about how to hold a baby. It's going to be about key information that if I had known, things that aren't really being talked about, things that you can't really talk about on the internet, things that if I had known would have avoided so much. And motherhood in itself is a selfless act, even if you are doing it for selfish reasons. Hopefully you're not, but can affect other people. That's like one of the worst feelings, is knowing that your mistakes, your decisions, or not knowing has impacted your youth. Okay, so if you do support this content and also want to be edified, it's over a few hundred pages and counting. You could go ahead and see the link in the description. And if you want to support for free, you could show me some love, show the like, let YouTube know, let the like button know, let that subscribe button know, and share to those you love. So with all that being said, I hope that you are, more importantly, creating that relationship with the Most High, creating that relationship with Jesus Christ. We have this moment, this time, okay, the present moment, to be able to seek Him and to be flooded with His beautiful grace. Pick up your Bible. I recommend the King James Version, has the truth in it. My mind was blown so many times and now has brought me here. God has got me through. I'm not even supposed to be here, and yet God said that I could. Okay, God said that I could. And all that being said, be blessed. I hope you are walking in the purpose that God has given you, the things, the talents, the thoughts that He has given you when you were a wee lad that God invested into you. Okay, that is the key to your overall happiness and breaking free from this system. Okay, be blessed. I love you. God loves you even more. Peace.